Hi there, welcome to the channel. This is
Eric.
Enzilani Mulati, and we usually talk about marriage, relationship, parenting, and
Purpose.
great. So, what are we talking about today?
Today we are talking about roles in marriage.
Say that again.
Roles in marriage.
Mm-hmm.
That's very interesting because you know when nowadays people get married and the roles are not clear. And now you're in the house together. What should I do? What should you do?
You know what I thought you wanted to say?
Yeah.
Nowadays people get married for all the wrong reasons. It sounded like you're gonna say that, but anyway. Yeah, people get married for the right reasons. Mm-hmm.
You know, traditionally in a
Mm.
cultural setting, there were aunties, uncles, and different kinds of people who they'll take a girl and they would and people who still in those forms of setup.
Yeah.
You're told this is, as a wife, this is your expectation, as a man this is expectation, but times have changed.
Yeah.
There's a lot of urbanization, there's a lot of technology, there's a lot of disruption, and people are learning about roles in marriage and relationship from different sources
On the go.
Yeah, and information has tripled, quadrupled, and many times over. And so really, what are roles in marriage? And so in the last recording we talked about context of marriage. So based on your context, it will determine your role.
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to describe the roles in marriage based on a kingdom biblical context. And that's the marriage that works. Yeah, so there's marriage that does not work and there's marriage that works. Marriage that works, the kingdom, godly biblical marriage. Marriage that does not work is when it's pop, when it's cultural, when it's religious, and when it's legalistic and civil. So for more details, watch the last recording. So maybe you can take us off on roles. So how do you even start a discussion on roles? What are roles and what should a man do? What should a woman do? It's very, for someone who is not clear and has not been mentored, guided well, it's very confusing.
Yeah, and rightly so, it can be very, very confusing because now, I mean, the context of a woman, as you said, a woman being taken by the aunties and told what to do, and the man, having that setup of being told what to do. I think that context has, it's long gone, and it's just become so blurry. What are we supposed to do? And then I think also when you look at roles, it's also a good starting point would be, how did you grow up? So starting from there, starting from how you grew up, who used to do what was your context,
what
and
you saw modeled
what
to
you saw
you.
model. And I think we had that conversation that really helped before we got married, when we were doing premarital counseling. And it did help. Thank God we did it. However, it didn't help fully because there's some things we were learning about each other when we got married.
Maybe to shed some light, the conversation we had was, which marriage did you see work when you're growing up? And what did you like about it? What did you not like about it? Number two, if you had parents around you, your parents around you, because some of you might have guardians or different context, but how you were brought up, the relationship you saw, what worked, what did not, because that informs how you reacted. Either you copy or you rebel and go to the other extreme. And the setups, nowadays is single parents and all that. So how is that affected you, how you grew up?
And it's so important to have that conversation, because then you talk about which one has worked, what can you learn and apply, and even which one has not worked. Okay. And that was a very important conversation for us, because I remember when we had that conversation from my side of the family, honestly, I had never seen a working marriage. Like never ever. My parents divorced when I was very young. They separated, I was about 3 years old, and so I literally did not even know how a good marriage looked like. Then later on, when in the church setting, I had gone to some fellowships, and that's where I got to see good marriages. about 5 couples, and I would see the men love their wives. I'm like, what's going on? And I mean, it was just so beautiful. And then that's when I knew this is what I wanted. Yeah. And then now we had those conversations, we're very honest. And just things like, what did your dad do? What did your mom do? So for me now, like half my life, I was raised by my dad. And so my dad was there. I mean, he'd pay the school fees, he'd provide, but he wasn't there. Like, I mean, he wasn't there emotionally, physically. We never used to talk, And I went to boarding school when I was very young as well in class 4. So now that informed how I also wanted to live. We were like, okay, now that we have our family, we really want to be there for our children, want to do things differently, and so on and so forth. So starting with and being very open, being very vulnerable with each other. I think one of my key weaknesses was homemaking. Believe it or not, when we got married, me, I didn't know how to cook. I didn't even know how to organize things in the kitchen. So Eric was showing me. Now, you don't put the oil and the flour together. You just need to be more organized. So I had told him, I was raised by my dad, but he just didn't understand what that meant until we got married. Yeah.
Yeah, and so how you grew up, what she's saying, in summary, is how you grew up affects your perception on roles in marriage.
Yeah.
And you need to discuss it as a couple. You need to understand how the other person grew up and how that has affected her or him and the adjustment you need to make. Like when you're getting married, like she said, when it came to cooking, I was better in cooking than her. When it came to cleaning and doing the house things, I was better at it than her. Right now, she's better, way better than me. Yeah, and so if you come with a fixed mind that a wife is the one who cooks, takes care of children, and has to do all these things, and the man has to go to work and bring provision, you it might not be there are no hard lines, but how you grew up affects you. Now if you are to switch into a kingdom marriage setup, it boils down to what has the man been instructed to do and what has the woman been instructed to do. The Bible does not talk about the man should do 1 2 3, the woman should do 1 2 3. So washing, the Bible talks about men love your wives and women submit. That's very strong. So my responsibility in my marriage, my biggest role is to love my wife and to provide an environment that allows the family, both my wife and my children, to thrive and to get into the fullness of how God has called them. Men have been instructed to love, and wives have been instructed to submit. So what is love? Love is kind, love is patient. According to 1 Corinthians 13, love is kind, love is patient, love does not keep record of wrong, always trust. Yeah, so that's what love. So as a husband, my primary role is to be patient with my wife, and patience is the first one because it's the hardest as a man, to be patient, to be kind, and all those things. And then what's submission? Submission means coming under, coming under. And when you look at anything that's called sub, it's usually very powerful because submarine means it has power, but it's not actually being seen, it's going under. So it means wives are meant to be that powerful strength in the marriage that actually allows the husband or the family to shine without wanting to be seen. That's what submission is. And also another perspective of submission would be a helpmate. And when you're seeking help, if I'm holding a building like this, okay, and it's falling, and I'm seeking help, it means the help that comes must be stronger than me. Otherwise, we collapse. I cannot seek help from somewhere where it's weaker. If I'm seeking help, it means I need someone or something stronger than me to help me. And so, as a husband, there are things I'm already doing, but I need a helpmate, who's my wife, to bring in strength that is more than me. So actually, wives are in the marriage setup. Wives are, for lack of a better word, stronger than the man, but only when they come under. So when women learn how to come under and become that strength, they are more powerful. But when they want to be equal or bigger, they lose their position. So God designed wives such that when they come under and bring their uniqueness, then we become stronger. Yeah. Like for example, one of her strengths is she's very, outgoing, interacts with people, makes connections easily both in business and in friendships. And so that's a strength that she brings in our marriage. And it makes us stronger, it makes us more social with people, makes us connect, makes us do these videos. Yeah. So primary role of the man is to love, according to 1 Corinthians 13. Primary role of the woman is submission, which is not subjugation. Because we have to stop seeing it from a cultural perspective where the woman is being put down. No, submission in a kingdom setup means that the woman is using her power like a submarine to cause things to shift and to move. Yeah.
Okay, amazing. And I like that you've said those two important things. We talked about love, we talked about submission, and then allow me to also introduce another element of that's key for the man is leadership. So there's this verse that says, the head of every woman is, the man, and then the head of the man is Christ, and the head of Christ is God. So in the kingdom, there's usually that structure. And a good way of even looking at submission is how Jesus submitted to the Father, and he would say, his mandate is to do what the Father has told him to do. And notice also what the Father would do for Jesus. He would actually announce him and say, hey, this is my son, whom I love. Listen to him. So you can see that level of love. You can see that level of interaction and everyone knowing their place. And so in marriage, that's now how we look at it. Everyone is knowing their place. And then now I know within that structure, within that protocol, then he is our leader.
I like that example.
Yes.
God knew it is Jesus, my son, who needs to go on earth.
Yes.
And then while Jesus is on earth, he looks at the Father in heaven. So there is a collaboration. And at one point you might think Jesus is the lead. But Jesus tells you, I'm doing as I see my Father do. So in marriage, it's like oxen plowing. Like oxen plowing. When you look at an oxen plowing and they've been put, that's why the Bible says, do not be unequally yoked. Because in marriage, you need to be equally yoked. And so that means if we want to turn this way, who leads? It is me, because I go ahead and we turn. But if you want to go this way, I cannot lead. If I lead, we will go and crash on that side. I have to allow your strength to push on this side so we turn. So in marriage, it's important to know who leads when and whose strength is required. If it comes to for example, social aspects, she's very strong, she leads. When it comes to family values and strategy and where we're going, I lead. And so that's how you look at it. And it's a collaboration and like an oxen plowing. So roles in marriage: men love
and women submit. And I love that you said that, because you actually lead us very well when it comes to organizing structure, where we are going, and it's just amazing. And allow me to mention this because it just come to my mind. You see, women, we are so powerful. That's why we are asked to submit. Okay, I'm thinking of a substation.
Yeah.
Anything with a sub is very powerful. So the substation is now the place where what happens?
Electricity.
Yes, the electricity
is stepped down.
Yes.
So that it can be distributed to be used at home.
Exactly.
It's like a transformer.
Yes.
Women are actually transformers.
Yes.
They need to be stepped down for their power to be used.
To be used constructively and not destructively.
Yes, because when a woman is not submitted, it's like a big power being generated from a power generation station and being fed into a TV. The TV burns. So it needs to be stepped down and given 240 volts use.
To usable format.
Bring, help breastfeed the child, power used, allow us to, your strength, reach out to people so we can help them. Your strength. So it needs to be used and stepped down and stepped up if required.
Yeah, absolutely.
So women are like transformers.
Yes.
So submission.
Yes.
Until next time.